Welcome back, dear viewers, to our continuing saga of Manimekalai. In Chapter 1, Part 4, The Tragedy at Madurai, we reach the most heart-wrenching part of our tale. Today, we witness how a series of tragic misunderstandings leads to devastating consequences in the great Pandyan capital. Get ready for a story of injustice, raw emotion, and the incredible power of a woman's righteous anger that would forever change the fate of a mighty city. As the sun began to set over the ancient city of Madurai, Kovalan and Kannaki, weary from their long journey, found themselves at the city's outskirts. The Pandyan capital stood before them like a dream, its massive towers reaching toward the darkening sky. Though their bodies were tired, hope burned bright in their hearts. Here, they thought, they would begin their new life together. That first night, they found shelter in a monastery, where kind monks offered them food and rest. The next morning, facing their first day in this strange new city, Kovalan made what would prove to be a fateful decision. Rather than staying together while they found their footing in Madurai, he decided to leave Kannaki in the care of a kind shepherdess while he went into the city to sell one of her precious anklets. The anklet he carried was no ordinary piece of jewelry. It was a masterwork of the goldsmith's art, fit for a queen, with precious rubies sealed within its hollow chamber to create a sweet, tinkling sound as the wearer walked. Kovalan knew that only the wealthiest citizens or perhaps the royal household itself could afford such a treasure. With this in mind, he sought out the king's goldsmith, believing this would be the quickest path to establishing himself in the city. But fate had laid a cruel trap. The royal goldsmith was a man whose heart was as dark as the gold he worked was pure. He had recently stolen a similar anklet belonging to the queen and saw in Kovalan's arrival an opportunity to cover his crime. With cunning words and false concern, he took the anklet from Kovalan, promising to help him secure the best price. Instead, the goldsmith rushed to the palace, weaving a tale of deception. He claimed to have discovered the queen's stolen anklet in the possession of a mysterious stranger, none other than Kovalan. The king, Needham Chejha, known for his swift justice, made a decision that would haunt him for the rest of his days. Without proper investigation, without even allowing Kovalan to defend himself, he ordered his guards to find and kill the alleged thief. The palace guards found Kovalan walking through the streets, his mind filled with dreams of the new life he would build with Kannaki. They fell upon him with their swords, cutting him down before he could even understand what was happening. His last thoughts were of Kannaki, waiting patiently for his return, not knowing that she would never see him alive again. When news of Kovalan's murder reached Kannaki, the world seemed to stop spinning. The pain that erupted in her heart transformed this gentle woman into an embodiment of righteous fury. Like a lioness whose mate had been slain, she stormed through the streets of Madurai, her grief and rage lending her strength she never knew she possessed. She burst into the royal court, her hair wild, her eyes blazing with the fire of justice. The guards, struck by the power of her presence, didn't dare stop her. Standing before King Needham Chejha, she demanded to know what evidence had condemned her husband. When told about the stolen anklet, she asked one simple but devastating question: what lay inside the hollow of the queen's anklet? The king, still confident in his judgment, replied that the queen's anklet contained pearls. Kannaki's response shook the very foundations of the palace. Her anklets contained rubies, not pearls. To prove her point, she took her remaining anklet and, with strength born of grief and rage, broke it open before the entire court. Ruby after ruby spilled onto the floor, each one a drop of blood testifying to her husband's innocence. The truth hit King Needham Chejha like a physical blow. He had ordered an innocent man's death. The weight of this injustice, combined with the shame of failing his sacred duty to protect the innocent, was too much for him to bear. Before his assembled court, he collapsed upon his throne and died, his heart broken by the magnitude of his mistake. But Kannaki's wrath was not yet satisfied. Standing on the steps of the palace, she raised her arms to the heavens and called upon the gods themselves to witness her pain. She tore the left breast from her body and hurled it at the city of Madurai, cursing it with fire.